Hi, I'm Nicolas Perru. I'm the Senior VP of Code Quality at Sonar, which means that I'm looking after everything regarding code quality we do at Sonar Source. So today I'm going to talk about automated code review for agents and how we are at Sonar building trust to help you verify AI-generated code at scale. Let's start with a bit of a look at what the industry has been living through in the last couple of years. The pace at which we can generate code has moved drastically from humans producing code to GenAI producing code, which has shifted the bottleneck of the software development lifecycle from producing code, where humans had to carefully craft their program, into reviewing code, where now the bottleneck is really about, hey, we have all these pull requests that we need to review, all these changes that we need to review, make sure that they hit production with a good level of quality, not just introducing bugs, not introducing architectural depth. And this is now the biggest problem we are facing. This is illustrated by many anecdotes, one of them being Spotify mentioning that since December, no developer is writing code, and everyone is orchestrating agents and reviewing code. So this leads to this engineering productivity paradox, right? Where engineers are producing code at a pace which is never seen before, but the ability to review that code has not evolved fast enough. One might be tempted to say, hey, why don't we throw more AI at this problem of reviewing code? And while it's a great suggestion and it works well in some cases, this kind of approach has some critical gaps. One of them being you don't want to have to be judge and jury here, AI to be judge and jury on this problem. So the same way you don't want the reviewer to be the author of the code, because then it's a self-pat on the back to say, good job myself. That's one point where it's a bit of a gap. And there is another point where you want also to have something for review, which is deterministic and repeatable. Which means that once you have a change of code, you know that the issues you are going to get from the review are consistent over time, which is not what a GenAI tool is necessarily good at, because that's not deterministic, that's probabilistic by essence. So the problem now is set. So what do we do now? And Sonar has two features, two approach here that combined makes this problem go away. The first one is about verification is indispensable, and you need to set your standards. Sonar helps you do that. And on the other side, we have also agentic analysis, which helps you make sure that you can verify what your code agent is doing, and is that code agent respecting your standards. So quality profile, it's about really having a set of rules, a set of standards that put together is really what you say good looks like. What you determine is the company convention. We have this at Sonar ourselves, right, with the Sonar Source convention. And then agentic analysis is a fast and complete consistent code intelligence service that is available throughout the whole SDLC. Why does this matter? It's very important that we start to get this verification. We have always been at Sonar keen to bring the verification of code closer to the production of the code. This is why we have the Sonar Cube IDE. But here is this new world of agent producing code. We need to bring this closer to the agent producing the code, which is not necessarily in the IDE, could be, but not necessarily. So we need to make sure we want to bring all the power of verification that Sonar provides closer to the agent producing the code. So the agentic analysis is a service that will provide that to be consumed in anywhere you would fancy. And we'll see in a minute that this can be done, for instance, in Cloud Code. The idea is really to bring all the great stuff that we are doing, all the advanced analysis we are doing in the CI, fast enough for consumption by agents everywhere in the software development lifecycle. In order to illustrate that, let's go for a quick demo. All right, so for this demo, we have a simple Gradle project, as the name tells it. And we are going to look at quality profiles. Quality profile, as mentioned earlier, is a set of standards that are available for you in many languages, but let's focus on the Java one. So for each language, we have what we call the Sonar Way profile, which is a set of rules that we have established as relatively standard for every language. And we are going now to copy it and extend it, basically, adding one new rule to this standard. So we are copying the Sonar Way. We are now going to look into what rules are inactive there and enable one of them. We are going to enable the thread should not be started in constructors. I'm not going to elaborate about why this rule is important, but you can look into your SonarCube instance to get the documentation about this one. So now what we need to do is to make sure that we associate this quality profile to the project, making sure that when we are running an analysis, this is done with that set of rules that we have established. So there is one more than the default one, and because we are a bit more strict for this simple Gradle project. So there we go. This is associated. And now we go into the terminal and we start Claude. So in Claude, we are going to just look at what is available on the MCP server. The MCP server of SonarCube is there, which is already available that you can use. But this one is as the agentic analysis enabled. We are going to look at that through the MCP tools. So through the MCP tools, we can see that we have many of them available. And here we have this 19th one, which is the Run Advanced Code Analysis, which is the agentic analysis. And with that, what we can do now is just ask Claude to analyze the modified file of this simple project with a SonarCube. So let's make sure we get that. Of course, here we are doing it directly in the prompt, but this could be done. This could be an instruction that you put in your Claude MD file for your project, or even better for your whole Claude agent to use that every single time something is popped up. Then Claude will figure out which project it is associated to and how to run advanced analysis, respecting the quality profile of your project, which means that the Claude will produce code which is matching the standard you've set here. So now we are letting Claude running the analysis and figuring out on which file to run the analysis. So the run advanced code analysis has been done, as you can see in the logs. And we are now letting Claude analyze the result and getting us a bit the report. And that's it. So here we have all the issues that has been found. And of course, Claude stopped here in this demo, but you can imagine as Claude suggesting that we can ask for fixing those issues. And here we have different issues raised. One thing which is interesting is like we have this kind of standard rules on code quality about non-static final field, this kind of different issues. And we also have this rule here which is the thread starting constructor, which is the one we have activated specifically for this demo, for this quality profile. And of course, as I mentioned, we can have Claude to fix those issues once we have analyzed that. And you can imagine to also put this in your Claude ND file and ask to fix any issues that come back from this directly. So the agent iterates to make sure the code is respecting the standard you've set. What does this mean after we have had a look at this demo? So the thing we've seen is verification is indispensable. We know that like AI can do great things, but you still want to make sure once this code is going to hit production, in order to go faster, you may want to make sure you have a bit of a safety net. And that's where verification becomes indispensable. And agentic analysis, that puts AI under control. And you set the standard for your code thanks to quality profile, and we provide you all those deterministic constraints and great rules that we've been crafting for the last decade. And agentic analysis helps to enforce this for the agent of your choice. We have seen that through Claude Code in the demo, but this is obviously, you can obviously apply this to any agent you fancy, Copilot, Cursor, Windsurf, anything you'd like, right? And this is where like we are bringing now, thanks to agentic analysis, we are moving from vibe then verify to vibe and verify, where you are vibing your code, of course, with your agent, but it's being verified as you are going through it. So Sonar helps you set the standards for your code and enforce it with your agents directly when you are producing that code with your agent. Thank you very much for your attention.